Right now, Curtis is fighting for his absolute life in court. The stakes could not be higher. He is facing severe assault charges, and the man trying to put him behind bars is none other than Isaiah. Isaiah has made it his personal mission to nail Curtis in court, blaming him for the hand injury that derailed his surgical career. We have watched Isaiah take the stand, his anger palpable, his vengeance driving every single word. Meanwhile, Portia is caught in an impossible nightmare. She just gave birth to beautiful baby Desmond, and the thought of her husband sitting in a Pentonville cell for the first 8 months of their son's life is tearing her apart. And then there's Jordan, who has been an unexpected rock for Portia, staying by her side during that terrifying labor. The atmosphere is thick with dread, and the gavel is about to come down. But here is where my insider leak starts to paint a very different picture. I firmly believe that Curtis is going to be acquitted, and it is all going to come down to a stunning courtroom maneuver orchestrated by Portia and Jordan. If you ask me, Portia is going to follow through on her goodwill gesture to Jordan and completely change her testimony. Imagine the gasp in the courtroom when Portia takes the stand and flips the narrative, dismantling the prosecution's case piece by piece. Coupled with Jordan leveraging her police expertise to introduce new, exonerating evidence, the entire case against Curtis is going to crumble like a house of cards. The judge will have no choice but to drop the charges. For Curtis, this will be the ultimate triumph, a fresh start, a chance to be the father baby Desmond needs. He will look at Portia and Jordan as his absolute saviors. Let us look closer at the specific mechanics of this upcoming trial. The prosecution is going to rely heavily on Isaiah's emotional testimony and the medical records of his shattered hand. But Portia and Jordan are brilliant women. I predict they are going to uncover a discrepancy in the timeline or perhaps find a witness who can testify that Isaiah was the aggressor or that the injury was exacerbated by something else entirely. Jordan's investigative skills are unmatched. She might dig up security footage that the PCPD missed, or she might leverage a confidential informant to prove that Isaiah's narrative is flawed. When Portia takes the stand, she will not just be asking for mercy, she will be presenting cold, hard facts that legally exonerate her husband. The sheer brilliance of these two women working in tandem to save Curtis will be a masterclass in soap opera storytelling. But it is exactly this brilliance that will make Isaiah feel so incredibly outmatched and humiliated, fueling his rapid descent into madness. Ladies, every victory in a soap opera comes with a devastating price, and that price is going to be paid by Isaiah. Let us do a deep dive into Isaiah's psychology right now. This is a man who dedicated his life to healing, only to have his career shattered. He walked into that courtroom believing in the justice system, believing that Curtis would pay for what he did. When the verdict comes back not guilty, Isaiah is not just going to be disappointed, he's going to be fundamentally broken. If you ask me, Isaiah will feel utterly betrayed by the very people he thought were his allies. He will look at Portia, a fellow doctor, and Jordan, a woman of the law, and see nothing but a corrupt conspiracy. He will believe that these three colluded to bury the truth and protect a guilty man. This is the exact moment where the line between hero and villain snaps. General Hospital has a long, rich history of pushing good people past their breaking point until they become the very monsters they despised. I am telling you guys, Isaiah is about to cross that line. We are going to watch his calm, collected doctor persona melt away, replaced by a cold, calculating desire for vengeance. Initially, he might try to hold it together. He will walk out of that courtroom with his head held high, masking the boiling rage underneath. But as the days pass, and he watches Curtis, Portia, and Jordan walking around Port Charles, breathing the free air, celebrating their little victory, that rage is going to fester. It will consume him entirely. According to my leaked script theory, the final straw will be a celebration party. You know how they do it in Port Charles anytime someone beats a rap? They throw a lavish party at the Savoy or the Metro Court. Curtis and Portia will undoubtedly host a grand gathering to celebrate his freedom and introduce baby Desmond to their extended family and friends. The champagne will be flowing, the music will be playing, and everyone will be dressed to the nines. Jordan will be there, being honored as the hero who helped save their family. It will be a picture-perfect night. But while they are clinking glasses, Isaiah will be lurking in the shadows, finalizing a master plan that will turn this dream into an absolute nightmare. Here is the massive secret that is about to be exposed in the upcoming episodes. Isaiah is not going to confront Curtis with his fists or a lawsuit. He is going to use a weapon of mass destruction. I am predicting a catastrophic bombing. Yes, you heard me right. Isaiah is going to plant an explosive device at Curtis's celebration party. Instead of facing them head on, he will opt for total annihilation, aiming to make Curtis, Portia, and Jordan pay the ultimate price all at once. Just picture the scene, ladies. Curtis is standing at the microphone, raising a glass to his beautiful wife and his loyal friend Jordan. He is smiling, the crowd is cheering, and then boom. A deafening explosion rips through the venue. The devastation will be absolute. The joyous celebration will instantly transform into a terrifying disaster zone of shattered glass, falling debris, and billowing smoke. The sheer chaos of the aftermath will be some of the most gripping television we have seen in years. Guests will be screaming, scrambling over the rubble, desperately searching for their loved ones. Because Curtis and Portia are the guests of honor, they will be standing right at the epicenter of the blast. If my theory holds true, they are going to sustain critical, life-threatening injuries. We are talking about Portia being pinned under a collapsed beam and Curtis being thrown across the room, unconscious and bleeding. The very couple that just fought so hard for their family will be fighting for their lives in the ICU. And we cannot forget about Jordan. Jordan is a protector by nature. When that bomb goes off, her first instinct will not be to save herself. It will be to shield those around her. I firmly believe Jordan will throw herself into harm's way, perhaps diving to protect baby Desmond or pushing Portia out of the path of a falling ceiling. In doing so, Jordan will take the brunt of the shrapnel. The tragedy of Jordan surviving the car crash only to be critically wounded in a bombing orchestrated by a vengeful doctor is exactly the kind of high-stakes drama that makes Sweeps Week so legendary. The hospital will be flooded with victims, and the doctors of General Hospital will be pushed to their absolute limits trying to save their own. Now, if Isaiah truly is the mastermind behind this horrific attack, he is not going to stick around to watch the dust settle. He knows that the second the PCPD pieces together the evidence, his life is over. My insider leak theory suggests that Isaiah will vanish into the night, sparking one of the most intense manhunts in Port Charles history. He will become public enemy number one. Anna Devane is going to mobilize the entire police force. She will lock down the city, setting up checkpoints and scouring every inch of the docks. But the law will not be the only ones hunting him. Jason Morgan, who is currently trying to build a peaceful life, will inevitably be dragged into the fray. When you mess with the people Jason cares about, you sign your own death warrant. Jason will be hunting Isaiah off the books, and it will be a race to see who gets to the rogue doctor first. Let us pause and think about the ripple effects this will have on the rest of the canvas. Think about baby Desmond. That poor, innocent child was just brought into this world, and now he is facing the very real possibility of losing both of his parents in a senseless act of violence. The emotional weight of this storyline is going to require multiple boxes of tissue. Aunt Stella is going to be absolutely beside herself. She has been pushing Curtis and Portia to do better, to be better, and just when they reach a place of peace, it is violently ripped away from them. Stella's grief and fury will be a powerhouse performance. Mark my words. And what about Trina? Trina has already been through so much trauma, and now she is dealing with a mysterious stalker. Imagine her getting the phone call that her mother and her father figure have been blown up in a terrorist attack. Trina is going to drop everything. Her music career, her premiere, all of it will fade into the background as she rushes to General Hospital to keep a vigil by Portia's bedside. This could even be the catalyst that brings Trina and Giovanni closer together, as she leans on him for support during the darkest hours of her young life. The writers are setting up a massive emotional domino effect, and every single character in Port Charles is going to feel the impact of Isaiah's betrayal. Furthermore, let us analyze Isaiah's transformation. It is always a tragedy when a healer becomes a killer. Isaiah came to Port Charles as a brilliant surgeon, a man who saved lives with his hands. To have those hands damaged by Curtis was a physical and psychological blow. But to have the justice system fail him, that is the spiritual blow that breaks his moral compass. When he plants that bomb, he is not just trying to kill Curtis. He is trying to destroy the entire system that he believes is fundamentally corrupt. He will view himself as a dark avenger, a man dispensing the justice that the courts refuse to deliver. This complex psychological profile is going to make Isaiah one of the most compelling, terrifying villains we have seen in a long time. It is a casting shakeup that elevates the actor to a whole new level of dramatic intensity. As the manhunt intensifies, the tension between Anna Devane and Jason Morgan will reach a boiling point. Anna is sworn to uphold the law, and she needs to bring Isaiah in alive to face justice. But Jason? Jason operates by a different code. If Jason finds Isaiah first, there will be no trial. There will be no jury. There will only be a swift, brutal end to the man who nearly wiped out Curtis and Portia. This ideological clash between Anna's badge and Jason's gun will provide a thrilling subplot as they both race against the clock. Will Anna be able to stop Jason from crossing the line, or will Jason exact his brand of lethal vengeance before the PCPD can intervene? The stage is set for an unforgettable month of television. The transition of Isaiah from a wronged victim to a mass-murdering fugitive is going to shake the very foundation of this show. So, I have to ask you guys, what do you think? Do you believe Isaiah has it in him to plant a bomb and wipe out his enemies, or do you think someone else might be pulling the strings behind the scenes? Will Curtis, Portia, and Jordan survive the blast, or are we about to say a heartbreaking goodbye to a beloved character? Drop your thoughts, your theories, and your outrage in the comments below, because I want to hear what every single one of you ladies thinks about this explosive twist.